Well, howdy doody to the masculine energies. Coming back at you again with Twin Flames Oracle. I'm always changing my name. My name's Susan, but that part is always the same. So energy for the masculine. Here we go. I already laid the cards out with clarifiers so we could get more information about each card. So I'm going to give you a general reading for the masculine energies to see how he's doing, what he's up to, and shed some light and clarity on his situation, maybe to help him out in understanding himself a little bit better. I'd like to think that I have that capacity. Anyway, so judge for yourself, and if you are interested, please like and subscribe. I feel like a lot of these downloads as a clairvoyant person or an empath are meant for you, but if it for some reason it's not resonating, then it's not going to be the message for you. And for cross watchers, it might be the message for you if you're trying to check out what your feminine energy might need to know about your masculine counterpart or about your masculine side. I mean, we can integrate and handle these things as more holistic individuals if we're owning our feminine masculine energies. For everybody, we need to do that. And so when I say that, I don't mean you have to be a male. You could be a masculine female. Or when I say he, you could be a woman in relationship with another woman. I'm not trying to be sexist or racist or any other phobic person whatsoever. It's just the way that I'm, I guess, reading about traditional heterosexual male-female, but it could also be read as male-female energy, just to clarify. Okay, so the situation, what he currently has, the masculine has, is he's interested in giving. He's interested in charity. So he's usually giving from the heart, giving those golden eggs or that money from that pelican. So usually that means a charitable gift that he, wants to give to the feminine, or it could be that he should expect a charitable gift towards himself. Just expecting a gift in general, that we all like to give from the heart when we can. Like, nobody likes to give when it's expected, right? When it's like forced, when you feel resentful for giving too much, because we should give when we have something to give. And we should give without expecting gains, without expecting something in return. So charity implies giving from free will, from the heart, without an expectation. So I feel like the masculine energy is enjoying and wants to give to the feminine. So my opinion is, are you prepared to receive? For the feminine counterpart energy, being receptive. I mean, that is the definition of feminine energy, is the receptive container, if you will, the receptacle part, right? The yoni. Receiving the masculine, receiving his energy. I'm not saying being controlled by his energy, but also, are you masculine willing to receive her, her energy in your action-oriented ways? And right now it feels like he has common sense and logic. He's the king of common sense and logic and rational thinking. So he wants to give, but he wants to give in a rational way that makes sense logically. And he's currently resting on his laurels, spending time with what's going to be the most valuable sword that he can give. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, just kidding. So maybe giving of himself, but giving in a way that makes the most sense to him. Sorry if that sounded sexual, but anyways, so giving without having family issues. Historically, this means resting, from, let's say, a traumatic family event or something. Let's say resting from like things that have burdened you in the past with your family. Let's say repeated relationship issues or quandaries that have gotten you in trouble from giving. Like resting because you don't want to repeat cycles from the past of other unhealthy relationships that weren't generous, that didn't come from the heart. Like, he's trying to figure out how to have a good relationship and make sense of it and come from a rational, but, very like airy way, right? Not overly emotional, overburdening, to the point, frank, clear, working on his communication, resting on it, dreaming about it, trying to figure out how to come across being the most charitable, the most giving, or how to receive, and hoping that she's preparing to how to receive, you know, she should be preparing how to receive this energy when it comes toward her. Okay. That is what is currently going on in this situation. His desires is the Chariot to move forward. We've seen this before. This comes up many times in readings, right? The desire to move forward in a victory. With the win, with the prize. Having gone out to war or suffered and coming through with the victory, with the prize, winning, right? And that means having your feelings yoked with your needs. Having your needs yoked with your feelings. Going forward, you mean you have to get your desires and your wants going in the same direction, as well as with the female, right? You guys have to be going the same direction at the same time to the same place with an anticipation of a win and a victory and a triumph. So you can't go forward unless you have like all your ducks in order. Do you get me? Do you follow? So that's kind of what's going on. Because I feel like this is his desire, he wants to rush in with a message of physical love, like sexuality. Like, who doesn't want that? We all have needs, you know, it's like food, water, shelter, clothing. Sex is one of them. On Maslow's hierarchy of needs, sex is a need. But when we rush in just to have sex with any old, you know, I'm just going to be an asshole right now, motherfucker, right? A fucking motherfucker. You know, it's like, I don't know if anyone will do, right? So he's looking for somebody who fills all of the cups, fills all the emotional cups before he comes in with an offer of like sexuality. And I'm gathering that that's kind of like, he's good at that. Okay, let's just say that is present. That will be present. You guys could definitely get it on and feel really, really fulfilled and happy with that. But coming with the King of Cups, like mastering the emotional part, the spiritual part, the need for connection physically from this physical, like, emotional space, but of a win. The 9 is like having all your wish fulfillment come true in an emotional way. So preparing also physically and emotionally for the victory of where you get everything you want when you come forward. But it's coming from a fiery, passionate, watery way, or you've got 2 signs. One's, maybe they're both kind of masculine in nature. One's fire with some water. Maybe there's like a moon and in like a water sign, or like a ascendant in some water sign and some fiery energy there too, like a good blend of fire and water. Some emotional, physical, like there's a good blend of that. Like he has a victory with this part of him. Like his emotions and his physical self are united. So this is good. He's desiring that kind of connection. This is a great kind of connection you would want to have. It's just that this guy's a little younger and riskier. Take a risk, you know, it takes a risk to put your sexual needs out there, right? In a loving, caring, I'm fulfilled, I'm going to fulfill, we're all going to be fulfilled, it's going to be a victory way. You follow? I don't know. I'm just trying to get it all out there on the table. Sorry about that cuss word on the MF. Okay, how he really feels. Oh, I might have messed up. I think I messed up. Okay. The situation where I described how he feels, he wants to give in a logical way and come forward in a logical way when he's figured everything out. That's how he feels. What the current situation is, my totally bad, is that he kind of has a lot of lust. Let's imagine this card is lust. Like he lusts after and works really hard. This is a Saturn card, so there's karma there. And so what he has is trying to work through his karma. Let's just say there's some karmic events, or there was a karmic relationship or situation that he has been working through, and that's on the table, so that's good. At least that's there. That's coming full circle this lifetime for ascension. And this could be also the male-female dynamic, like there's been addictions for both sides, and so both people are working on the addiction. So like the base lower realms of our desires coming from a base polluted, let's just say, devil energy, like demonic shit. Like, okay, we've been doing demonic ass shit to each other, and that's not fucking cool. Games, head games, tripped out manipulation. Who knows? I don't know what's evil for you, but evil might be different for everybody, right? Like, fuck, pornography. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Like dating random ass MFs that you, I don't know, but there's some evil shit that's currently going on that people are looking into to try to figure out how to overcome or unchain or love from a different place, because it's been burdensome, lonely. You have to do it all by yourself. Ultimately, you're going to end up in a fucked up situation. You're going to be alone or with somebody else who's chained up too in your little party, right? Like, it takes one to know one, it takes another devil to get together. Like, misery loves company. So that's a little overbearing. So people have to use their wisdom to cut through this shit, this bullshit, to get to the crux of the situation, especially if you have a family that you want to be with. Like, the outcome is wish fulfillment, family, home. You don't have to have children, but just that feeling of being a family together and having a home and being extremely happy, the rainbow of all the cups. You can't get any better than that. But like, what kind of relationship is it going to be if you're chained up to the devil? So like, letting some of this stuff go, cutting through, slicing through to find the way to this union. It feels like he's had this shit his whole life and he's looking for this. That's his current situation, and so he desires to get there in a sexual and emotionally fulfilled relationship, and he feels like he wants to be giving when he gets there. He wants to give. Damn, I got that out of order. I hope that made sense. Sorry about that. And then for the fourth reading here for you is what he thinks is keeping it all together, being the strong guy, being the one to keep it together, and the strength and holding everything together. So it wants to crumble. Like, he thinks most relationships crumble and fall apart, and he's interested like in his past and his ideals, knowing that shit fucking falls apart. But he wants to be successful. He wants a worldly outcome. He wants to be successful in his life. He's trying to keep it all together so that he can enjoy. He thinks life has to be hard sometimes. He's got to use all his strength. Or he's learned how to tame all of his weaknesses. He's learned how to be so strong through all his weaknesses so he could be successful. So he could have worldly work, worldly functioning. He could be adept in his world, but he's learned how to be strong to get there, right? So that's what he thinks masculinity is, being strong and being of the world and a victory and coming to a close in the cycle of keeping it all together so that it's a win. For him, that he owns the whole world. He's the dancer. Like, he can be of this world. He can be worldly with you and share all of his strength with you and all of his worldly goods. So this is like heaven on earth, that you have the 10 of cups. You're at the end of your journey of your wands, of carrying all that passion by yourself alone. You have the ace of swords on top of the devil. Like, you've completely manifested 360 from the devil, right? Into the world with all of your strength that you own from a giving place. You are the King of Swords now. You've rested. You've learned how to be the King of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Knight of Wands in order to have the 10 of Cups and the 9 of Cups. The Knight of Cups. Sorry, you're the Knight of Cups and the Knight. You're the Knight. You're the younger-ish. Not the King, but you're the King of Swords. I already saw the King of Wands. That's why I said it. So the future outcome is the being of the world and out in the world in the sun. Invitations, having fun, feeling free, feeling jovial like children, having fun in the sun, going out there doing whatever that means for you, whatever fun you like to do as the King of Wands. I did say that. And you're returning to a state of innocence, a state of beauty, a state of having the angels call you up out of a dead sleep in a coffin to be reborn again as this king in the sun who's like the master of his castle, master of his destiny, master of the animals, the lions. Usually this is a Leo card, but it could be seen as Aries or Sat, like just a fire. Mostly, you know, you come out on top looking good, smelling like a rose. I mean, you do have some stuff here with, I don't know, I don't want to be like, these are Leo cards, but I'm saying like there's a return of this energy of owning your passion and your sexuality and your fire and being in the sun, like being reborn and innocent and pure and beautiful. And in the sun, I mean, who doesn't like being in the sun? Shit feels good, right? We all need that. We need some sun and some mastery over our love, our heart, our physical affection and attention. So I try to spit that out as fast as possible, and I made a few mistakes. My bad. So trusting yourself, like this stag got the trust of this fairy, these birds and this fairy, by being trustworthy, by earning her trust. Trust yourself. Trust that you know how to earn this fairy, this gentle, beautiful fairy's trust. If you don't trust yourself, you need to look into that. Do you trust yourself? Do you trust what is going on for you? Do you trust your God or your spirit? Do you trust yourself to do what's right? Because if not, then I recommend looking into that. But otherwise, it sounds like you're very trustworthy to me. And if you need to, trust more. Trust your spirit. Trust your intuition a little bit more, because it sounds like you need to not avoid things, right? Be in a state of sorting out what is working and what's not, like sorting the wheat from the chaff so you can have a harvest. And try not to listen to distractions that are not in alignment with your trust. You have to listen to yourself, to your own inner awareness, your own trust of yourself. What distracts you from being aligned with your love, with your heart, with your own self, respect, so that you could cut away with things that are a life and death sort of victory defeat, so you can come into the trust. It's like a double-edged sword. Are you liberated? Are you happy? In the eyes of the all-seeing truth? Are you there? What do you need to do to get there to be fully trustworthy or trusting of yourself? The deeper meaning of your life, your place in it, in your relationship with others, and what reality are you in with that? Like, it's worthy to seek out trust and to be trustworthy and to offer that to another. How else can you be in a relationship without trust? And you need to have sort of like a significant opportunity like this to trust yourself, to become liberated and to grow into the person you want to be. So don't fear the tests that you've had, the life or death tests to get here, because it's made you trust yourself. It's made you come to trust and understand how truth works in your life at this time. So whatever happened was meant to be. You need to trust that whatever happened was meant to be. Nothing can be negative or forsaken. It's all for a reason. So trust that. Trust that you have earned this trust, okay? Makes sense? And then message in a bottle. Be expecting to hear messages from your soul, from your heart. Listen to the messages, to red flags. Listen to your intuition. Be ready to receive messages from God, from your higher power. An email, a note, a sign from the universe. Be willing to listen. Be ready to hear. Now, don't force things, but just be ready to listen. Should something come and show you symbolism, show you the messages that you've been waiting to hear, so you can look for those and have the opportunity to hear these messages. Let's see if I missed anything. Expect signs. Expect oracles. Expect to hear your message you're asking. Like, there is no stupid question. The answer is yes. Ask the question. The answer is yes. If you ask the question, you will get an answer. So go ahead and pay attention and ask Spirit to send you signs or send you a message, but just ask the question. Don't wait, but expect that you will hear, you will receive. You will find some direction or answer you're looking for if you're asking. So ask. Yes, you should ask. And you can also expect there to be a message, some positive news, something coming towards you if you're willing to hear it. Be open to hear it, because all signs will be there and you are on target. If you can hear these messages, you are going in the direction you need to be going. So listen to your heart and trust yourself. Trust your messages that you hear, your own intuition, right? And you should acknowledge the signs. Don't be in avoidance of it. Should somebody lead you closer towards your desire? Spirit is listening to you to bring you closer to your desire. Are you refusing to acknowledge it? Are you trying to control it so you have everything as it should be? Are you open to Spirit giving you what you need and what you want and telling you? Don't control this. If it doesn't sit right, ask yourself, is there something hiding in this bushes that's going to kill me? But don't ignore any signs. Be open that Spirit probably has your best intention at heart. And then maybe there's something you're overlooking and you need to look into it more. For whatever reason, blessed comes up in a verse. So for some reason, you don't feel blessed. And I think the message behind this is normally you feel grateful, you feel blessed. You don't have gratitude. You're not feeling humble. You don't feel like you're enough, or you don't feel like this situation is enough, or you're always seeing the negative, or right now you're just seeing the negative. What would it feel like if you were humble and blessed and feeling more interested in the situations that are showing up in your life? Can you feel more blessed? Because instead, you're really not feeling that way right now. So let me look a little bit hard into. I'm going to see. Excuse me. I'm going to listen to this message, what they're saying. Something wonderful that's unearned and unexpected grace and a gift from God. You are not receiving it. There's moments in life when something happens, something's orchestrated out of the blue. It's divine intervention. You don't see it that way, though. It's divine infinite. It's supposed to be that way. You're blessed. It's difficult to explain why.